Okay, today I'm here interviewing Tony DeBolt. He is the owner of a company called Woodbee Customs. They do custom cabinetry, and yeah. So, what was your greatest achievement as an owner of Woodbee Customs?
To date, I would say the greatest achievement for me personally would be taking a home-based business and being able to move into a commercial shop and keep the business viable and hire some additional employees.
So, from the start of your business to the time you got that shop, how long did that take you?
My company started in 2010 officially, and it was 2017 when I was able to move into the first commercial building that I still occupy.
So why was that? Why was that achievement like extremely impactful to your business?
Like I said, I started as a home-based business, and as any home-based business, you're kind of doing it to hopefully take to the next step. And a home-based business doesn't have the footprint and the building behind it to kind of convey to customers that you're a professional company and you actually can perform your duties as a business owner to get their orders complete and get them installed. So having the background of a business building behind you kind of adds to the legitimacy of your company to where customers can basically have more faith that you are an actual company instead of some guy that works out of his garage.
That's perfectly understandable. So now that we have talked about one of your biggest accomplishments and how that has impacted your business in a productive and positive way, what is a significant challenge that you have faced over your career, whether that was business related, employee related, or how a product turned out, or anything like that? What was your biggest challenge?
I would say historically, probably, which may be the answer to many questions that business owners face, was COVID times. Sudden unknown was kind of initially a scary thought, and in my particular business, things actually were good for my business. But shortly thereafter, I started facing material shortages, material price increases, delayed shipping times, products that I couldn't get a hold of anymore. So in general, I'd say COVID kind of more so towards the material side as far as getting materials and managing cost with materials and still trying to keep the cost low enough for customers to place some orders.
Yeah, COVID impacted a lot of people. So how did you manage to handle that challenge, and like what was the time period of when it first impacted you to when it got fully controlled, and like yeah, what was that time period of how you handled that situation and how did you do it?
So COVID probably business-wise, I had seen it early 2020. And it was probably about a year later where I started to see material challenges in getting materials, quality materials, and obviously the cost of materials. And that whole process probably took a couple of years. Probably for a year, I would say. So 21 to 22 was probably the hardest point to be able to source material. Some of my products were completely unavailable. Some of them were available for limited periods of time. So it's trying to carry more inventory and make sure I have enough to continue the business. Also sourcing other sources of material in case something I had was not available. And that was about a year. After that, it became a little more stable. Just pricing itself obviously increased, which was eventually carried on to customers. But so about a year of it was kind of unstable as far as pricing and being able to get a hold of material.
So for the outcome, what was the outcome? Was it like you got everything back to before COVID, or did COVID, like, did it completely impact your business from COVID till now? Like, you were still suffering price increases, or did you go completely back to how it was before COVID?
Yeah, like many businesses, we talk about timelines as far as pre-COVID and after COVID. And pre-COVID pricing will never come back. Pricing across the board has stabilized, but it's probably double the material cost that I was paying before COVID. So still seeing some of the effects, although the uncertainties have changed. Now everything's stable. It's just everything costs more. Materials are still available. Material lead times are back to normal. Kind of the uncertainty of being able to get certain products has gone away. So that's all stabilized. The pricing has stabilized. It just hasn't gone back down, and it will not go back down. That'll be, pretty normalized as far as post-COVID pricing being, probably 2x what it was before.
So what was like your main mission, vision, and strategy of the business? Like, why did you start it? What made you come up with the business? Was it a environmental thing? Was it an economical issue? What was your main reason of why you started it, and what was your kind of mission statement behind that business, and what does the business mean to you?
As a person, I've always been an entrepreneurial type of person. So it's personally, this is basically the second business that I've had. Previously, I worked in the cabinet industry, and the decision was made for me when I was laid off after the crash of 2006 through 8. And I was laid off in 2009. So ultimately, the decision was made for me that I had to figure out where I was going to take the next step in my life. And through the crash, there was my skill set and positions were not available to transfer and be hired by another company. So I decided that I had the skill set, had the ability, and had the need to basically figure it out on my own and start my own company. And so the decision was made for me to start my company. After that was just kind of based on my personal ability to figure stuff out and get my own company started, to be able to be my own boss and continue doing things that I like to do.
Interesting. So when you were talking about being an entrepreneur and how you liked being an entrepreneur, how important is that entrepreneurial mindset important when it comes to achieving your business and just making a business and being successful in one in general? How important is that mindset of being very accomplished and wanting to do your own thing?
I think the entrepreneurial spirit is very important, because you can have a skill set of whatever it may be for your particular business. You can be great at something, but you're under the direction of other people. You're under the safety umbrella of other people. And so when you take your skill set and turn it into a business, you need to have that drive to basically keep your business moving forward, understand the daily struggles where you're going to have to and once you get to that point, keep employees happy, keep business coming in the door, business going out the door, basically like a process machine. And if you get stuck with a skill set and you focus on one part of the business, it's hard to control the other parts of the business. So having the entrepreneurial mindset, you need to focus on the beginning, the middle, the end, and everything through, so that you can keep your business growing and self-sufficient.
That's interesting. And so going back to employees and all that, when it comes to being a leader in your company, what is the most important to you? Do you like to give advice on things if people are doing well? Do you like to reward people with maybe a bigger pay raise or a bonus? Or what's your type of leadership style, and how do you show your employees and maybe as well customers that you care for them and care for your company as well as your employees?
It's kind of the $1 million question for any business owner, and typically you learn by what not to do. You tend to work for bosses that you absolutely do not like. You don't like the way that they carry themselves. You don't like the way they communicate to other individuals. You don't like the way that they operate their business, and that's basically the majority of my foundation came from working for people that I didn't like. When you can see somebody that has a good business, but they just run it with sharp edges and rough words, it's not productive to keeping people happy. So I try to acknowledge employees, certainly give them guidance, correction, and make sure that they're able to continue doing the task that you've given them. If you've reached a point where they're not able to do that task, you have to move them on to another task that they're able to handle. If it becomes where they're great self-sufficient, you obviously need to keep in communication with them, giving them praise verbally, obviously compensation, whether it's bonus or hourly wages. Mainly just making sure your employees know that they're doing a good job and that they have a position that you appreciate them coming to work every day and doing their job, and understanding that we're all here to get a paycheck, we're all here to earn money, obviously go home to our families, and want to do something where we feel is good during the day. So you just want to have somebody that can come to work, leave their personal business at home, perform their duties, and then feel appreciated when they go home, to where they can feel like they've done a job for the day, feel rewarded that they've accomplished something.
That's perfect. Thank you. Yeah.